don't forget to thumbs up this video and hit that subscribe button, assuming you want to escape the Banshee.
Easy go.
What's up everyone, it is me again. Now today I'm doing another Halloween special for you guys, which is going to be something very unique in itself. It's a Day of the Dead kind of sort of a mixture of what you may possibly call a sugar skull or candy skull thing. You know where, ladies do that whole fancy pantsy look on their face and they have that skull look and all that. Except I'm going to do a little bit of a twist to mine. As you guys know, I've been using some cheap makeup and materials and things like that because I want you guys that are watching my channels to go, hey, I don't need to buy this really expensive stuff or makeup to do something really awesome. So that's basically why I'm using some cheap products. I am going to be yet again using this, but only this really cheap white one. That's because I'm actually waiting on the global body paint to come in, which hasn't come in yet. So if you do get the chance to use global body paint or Mayron's body paint, which both are really cheap, by all means use it, because what I discovered with this one is that it doesn't really dry. It saves like a really weird oily feel on the body, but I'm only going to be doing that around certain areas. I might actually add in, some actual proper face paint from actual proper face paint, but besides that, I'm going to be using that really cheap stuff, and as well as a mask. So there's something interesting that's going to be happening here with this, and it's going to be, like I said, a very interesting mixture because I want to do the whole, Day of the Dead look, but with a twist. Now I know you guys are going to be like, what's this so cool twist? And the twist is basically. So yes, let's get this little twist on the roll, shall we? So the next step, basically, I'm going to put this on my face. I'm going to trail the outline of where it's going to be sitting on my face with, yet again, a red lipstick pencil. And I'll probably underline my eyes with eyeliner here, which is from Maybelline. It's just a black one. And then, of course, what I'm also going to be doing is using that little black thing that I used in my previous video with my Papa Emeritus, and just doing some black markings around, the cheekbone area. So I'm going to start getting started here, and hope you guys enjoy. And also, don't forget to thumbs up this button if you're a massive fan of the Halloween season, or, the Day of the Dead. Okay, so yet again, like what I did with Papa Emeritus, I've just done the outline and it looks so very weird. Obviously, I'm not going to do the cheekbone part because of how the mask sits. It's going to look very weird, so you can basically tell what I'm going to try to do is adding like, a gruesome, gory area that's beneath the mask, so when I reveal my face, it's like, that gruesome sort of look. Now, basically, this here, it doesn't matter if it smudges, because maybe smudging it will look a lot better. I will get to that in a second. But what I'm going to be doing next is, see around the black parts here, I will do only for the eye part, the really black eyeshadow. And then I'm going to use a black face paint to pretty much just, go over this part here, so I know it's going to be prominent, so to speak. So as I said before, I'm going to be using some black face paint here, which is, you know, generic stuff. I'm using a brush to apply this, and the reason why I'm doing this time is because I realized my mistake with using the cheap, crappy costume stuff that it didn't work. But overall, I mean, if you're trying to do a Batman cosplay and you just need to know how to do those luscious, gorgeous, black, deep eyes, this is the way to go, my Batman friends. So now this here is the part where you just leave that part dry. Now you can also go around this, but I'll probably do that a little bit later, just to define it so it has a more, you know, skull in-depth look. But while this is drying, I'm actually going to be using the white paint now with my fingertips, because using the Q-tips just took too long. And I'm just like basically going to go over as much of the area as lightly as I possibly can. And yeah. Oh, and just a reminder, it doesn't matter if you smudge this, because that's gonna get smudged anyway, as you guys will see later on. So now that that's all done, doesn't look all that nice. As you guys can see, I sort of tried to blend it in along my neck, because I'm not going to do the whole entire, you know, white skeletal body. Also, please be mindful when you are doing the upper brow, make sure you haven't got, like, you know, sensitive scalp or anything, because this may actually cause an allergic reaction, so just be mindful of the products that you are working on. What I'm going to do now, as you guys probably would have guessed, is get the red eyeshadow and start applying around in this area. Now, I'm going to use a very big, thick brush to do that, because I've got a very large area to apply to, but I'm going to be very tedious and careful around this area, even though I might actually end up smudging it all in. So the colour I am going to be using for this is, like right, I'm going to get it there, that one there, and my screen just went really weird. Oh wait, there we go, we're back into focus now. So yes, I'm going to be using that, and just try and cover as much area as I can in that red zone. So now comes the part where you guys are probably questioning, Ali, why didn't you use your red face paint to do this area? Well, that's because I have a little trick up my sleeve for doing this makeup, which, it's gonna be a little bit more gruesomer, shall we say. So you guys have seen in my past videos where I've done with Dirty Gloss Gun and that, where I use, you know, this particular red mixture, which is just a mixture between really deep red and black. And you know, I do the whole dabbing thing. Well, I'm kind of sort of gonna do that, but just a little bit more like as if I'm doing muscle area. Which I should say here right now, if you don't know how or what muscles look like or how they should look like, it's okay to use a reference in this particular sort of look, I suppose. But it's just very generic, much like, you know, doing circles on lines and things like that. And of course, my infamous thing that I like to do is a little bit of smudging along the way, so it doesn't stand out all that much, but it gives that, you know, look that it is like this. So that's just doing the muscle outlining part, so it does look a little bit more gruesomer. And you just let that dry. It is face paint. But what I'm going to do now is just sort of start slightly smudging in a few areas. You don't want to completely smudge the whole area, but you just want to sort of add in a little zazz. But of course, now that you let that dry, I'm just going to do the markings on here. And how I'm going to do that is, again, using the black face paint. Of course, clean your brushes, because that's probably one of the highest things I can always say. It's always make sure that you have some sort of face makeup remover. So you guys will probably notice that instead of going for, you know, a straight, nice, toothy look, I decided to go with, you know, something that's a little bit more jagged and more monstrous for the purpose of Halloween. So, I just added in, like, you know, a little bit of detailing on the jawline. Obviously, this one didn't go perfect, but, yeah, that one's not too bad. I added in the bottom part because, when I looked up some of the referencing, I noticed that for a lot of the women, that was one of the big things that they would do was, you know, something on the bottom. It's not overly even, either. So, I'm just gonna make it even. So, yeah, basically this is what you do, but there is one final touch which I'm pretty sure you guys have been waiting on. So the one expensive thing that I am using is Miron's coagulated blood, and it's just for this one final touch-up look, which I think is going to look alright. Basically, around the areas that the mask is sort of not going to be on, I'm going to do like some bloody look there, so it looks kind of sort of gruesome-er, but I'm not going to be putting it in and around too much on this area here that's all red, because I don't want to be getting stuck to the mask and looking horrible. So suppose in a way you could just do this with paint as well, body paint like I was doing before, I guess. Might last a little bit longer. So one other thing I'm gonna do here is sort of add in a little bit of blood in some areas, so it looks like I ate something. So now that that's done, I'm going to put in the final things, and for once, actually have my hair out rather than have it up in a ponytail, because one thing I forgot to mention to you guys is I'm putting on a headband. So there you guys have it, my Halloween sugar skull twist and fun.